Okay guys, welcome to Crazy Burger. Today we're going to be looking at an update to the WHDLoad facility on the A500. This is just one up from the previous version that we had to start the A500 Mini. It's hopefully going to fix some occasional black screen display issues, maybe update the WHDLoad database to the latest package and fix a lot of issues that we are currently seeing. There is a full firmware update coming apparently in the next week or so that should fix a lot more issues that we've been seeing with the A500 Mini. We're also going to look at the frequently asked questions that have been dropped and maybe try and cover as many issues that we possibly can in this video. Without further ado, let's get started. Okay guys, to get started, you want to maybe update your package, download the latest version. It's basically what you've done before, except you're downloading the latest version and overriding what you've currently got on your USB stick. Now I'm currently using a SanDisk Cruiser Glide. It's a 32 gig version. Now I can't guarantee every USB stick will work because there are definitely some that are not completely compatible, but as long as it is formatted to FAT32, it should work, but I can't guarantee that. Okay, now you've got the actual package downloaded, now you need to put it onto your USB stick. So what you want to do is drag and drop or copy paste, whatever you like, from your download, all those files, and override the ones that you already have on your USB stick. You can delete the ones that are on your USB stick and just drag and copy. It really doesn't matter how you do it, you're really just basically copying and replacing the files that are already on your USB stick with the new ones. And that's you updated. Now you can go on, put it into your A500 Mini, and let's try some of those games that didn't actually work the first time. Okay guys, before we actually go away, we'll go look at the support package that's been put onto the site. So we've got the A500 frequently asked questions, and this should hopefully help answer some questions that have been going around for the last couple of weeks since the A500 Mini actually launched. Why is my USB stick not detected? And there's some information here. Basically, you need to make sure it's formatted to FAT32 and the size of your USB stick is no more than 32 gig. Now that doesn't mean that you can't actually use one, it's just you need to probably format it properly. You can probably find a workaround for that. Why doesn't program on my USB stick work? Not exactly great help here, but anyway, why does my USB program show a black screen? So hopefully this new WHDLoad package will reduce a lot of these programs not working, and hopefully that will probably fix some of the games that you're seeing a black screen and absolutely nothing is actually happening. There are other ways of doing it by going into the actual files themselves and sort of renaming that way, but that's probably quite in-depth and it's not the easiest way of doing it unless you actually know what you're doing. How do I open the virtual keyboard with my own programs? Now sometimes when you're in a game the virtual keyboard does not show. I found the easiest way is just to come out the game, go to the menu settings, or game settings, go straight back out again and go back into the game, and it came up right away. There's a little bit extra here that's talking about mapping the gamepad, but honestly it didn't make any difference to me. Just go straight out, game settings, go back to the game and it will be there. So there's a lot more information here guys. I'll leave the link in the description, you can maybe have a look at them yourself and maybe hopefully that will cover some of the issues that you might be experiencing. One of the most common one I've found is probably that some programs are actually running too fast, and it does sort of state here that make sure you've got the right version, for example. So I think make sure you download the files from the right website. There is another website, WHDLoad.d, which doesn't seem to have the correct files that work for what we're wanting to use on the A500 Mini. As there's examples here, these are the type of files you would find on that website, whereas you really need these. They should not be renamed as such, and it probably would stop the actual game from working. So guys, I'll leave a link in the description, you can go through any of these and try and find and help any more issues that you might be experiencing. Without further ado, we're going to have a look at the new WHDLoad and see if it does actually do any difference and actually fix some of the issues that we've experiencing. This isn't a firmware update. The firmware update for the A500 Mini will probably be in the next week or so, which hopefully fix a lot of other issues that we've been experiencing, mainly with the WHDLoad facility, which has not been the greatest, to be honest, especially with games running too fast or not working at all. Okay guys, once you've got your USB stick back into the machine, let's go back into it and see if it makes any difference to the actual games. We'll go back to Barbarian because I know that has probably been an issue, but I don't hold up much hope, to be honest, of it still actually working. Nope. So I can't get Barbarian working, but Barbarian 2 is working. This wasn't working previously. Not sure what's going on with Barbarian. You may need to go in and sort of edit the actual file name. Not really sure if that makes any difference, but okay. So that's an issue with bringing up the virtual keyboard again. So the best way to do it is press home, go back to the menu options, press menu. Nope, sorry. So go back into the game itself, go back to the USB stick, make sure you've got that game chosen, which is Barbarian 2. Go into the game settings, and then just come back out. To be honest, you don't need to do it, and then start the game again. Press the home button to start again. Hopefully, yep, you can see the virtual keyboard just suddenly appears. There's no need to suddenly remap things, it just seems to work on its own. For some reason, don't really get it, but that's really what happens. So we need to press return to try and get the disk loading, second disk loading. Oh, wrong one. And there we go, we are go. I can't say I'm very good at this game, but I think it's pretty hard. And I'm dead. It does seem to me as if it's running slightly faster, but anyway. Not sure if this is right or is running too fast. Again, you would probably have to go into your game settings to try and sort that out, but it does seem, if you can see looking at it, is running way too fast. If you look at the bats, for example, and the smoke coming from the volcano, it's quite clear that this game is actually running far too quickly. Now there is ways to actually try and combat that, but I'm not convinced they actually work. Let me go through that part now. So guys, in this section of the video I'm going to be covering the advanced settings that are not available right away to everyone when you start your A500 Mini. If you go to options, the menu options that is, it brings up these options. Now go to the advanced options at the bottom, second from the bottom, and select it. Now you've got expert mode. Now I didn't cover this in my main review video because really I wasn't getting anywhere with it. So to see some additional advanced options in the game settings, this mostly is for the WHDLoad facility. You can turn this on, but obviously do this at your own risk, because obviously messing about with the settings, you can probably break some of the games and they will probably stop working. Rather than trying to make them better, you could probably make it worse. So just be wary of that when you actually do that. Okay, now you've got it activated, go back to your actual game that you're wanting to change the settings of. In this instance, we're looking at Barbarian 2. So make sure you press A to select it, and you'll see what game you've got in your current media at the bottom of the screen. And then press the menu button to bring up the game settings. And you can see at the bottom, from Blitter Mode, Memory and Optimize, you've got some additional section here that you can mess about with to try and maybe fix the speed and a few other issues with games. There's also the interlaced option at the top, which should maybe fix some flashing issues that you might see in some games. Again, I've experimented a bit with this and I've not really got anywhere with it, to be honest. And some games are hit and miss. You could mess about with this and get absolutely nowhere. I've messed about with this and probably broke some games. They don't work, then just change the setting back again and they're fine. So it's going to be hit and miss. You probably need to know a little bit about the history of the Amiga and how they worked initially and what these settings actually mean. If you want a little bit more information about it, you should refer to the actual manual that came with the A500 Mini. Obviously not everyone got one. If you didn't get one, there is a version online you can download and that will tell you more information about these options right here. So interlace, guys, if the program being run shows a high resolution that appears to be juddering slightly, it is exploiting a feature of old Cathode ray tube, CRT, and is trying to double the vertical resolution of the display. This technique is called interlacing, blah blah blah. So you might want to change that setting if you're having issues with the actual picture. You've got the blitter mode. So the blitter is a component of the Amiga that can officially transfer large sections of data and memory on behalf of the CPU, freeing the CPU to do other things. We've got three options: normal, wait, and immediate. The normal mode, it should just behave exactly as you think. Wait, some older programs, usually written for the Amiga 500, assume the blitter will have finished what it was doing before they next need it. Blah blah blah. I'll leave the information, guys, on the screen here. Immediate, this puts the blitter into turbo mode. Again, that may actually make things worse. Adjusting the actual memory available in a program. Now you can see the memory, you can press X to decrease it or A to increase it. Most things should probably work fine on the high setting, but some games may need a little less memory to be able to run properly. It's worth maybe messing about with that. So it says here, occasionally some CPU intensive programs benefit from having optimized CPU JIT enabled. So this may help you in some instances, and also the copper may help performance as well with graphical and colour effects. Now honestly, I've messed about with these. Sometimes it just doesn't make any difference, other times it just breaks the game, so you're going to have a little bit of experimentation to what works. Let's have a little go at trying to get Barbarian 2 to run a little less faster. But as I say, I think the firmware update next week or so will hopefully fix some of these issues, because clearly Barbarian 2, amongst a lot of other games, are running way too fast and are practically unplayable as they are. Okay guys, I've messed about with the settings for quite a long time and it's made no difference. I've found that with quite a lot of the games, messing about with this, it may work for some games, but for me, I've found it to be completely useless and doesn't make a blind bit of difference, apart from actually breaking the games worse than they already are. If you have a look at Barbarian, it is pretty much still running exactly the same way, no matter what I do. I can stop it from working altogether by changing the memory settings all the way down. It will just stop loading, but it still looks to me as if it's running just that little bit too fast. This is affecting quite a number of games in the WHDLoad facility, which hopefully I think will be fixed with a firmware update, because as it stands, it's practically unplayable for a lot of games. It might seem slightly better, but at the same time it might be just my imagination. So guys, it's definitely another hit and miss scenario. Some games that didn't work before are now working, but by and large, there's still a heck of a lot of issues out there. There's still a lot of games not working properly. There's still games are far too quickly. They're running far too fast. Hopefully, I'm fingers crossed that the firmware update that's coming will hopefully fix a lot of these issues, because a lot of these games are completely unplayable as they stand, and it's really disappointing. I think most people have probably bought this A500 Mini to play their own games, and the fact that we're getting a lot of issues is really kind of disappointing. But I suppose bear with it. I think some firmware updates will probably help. And there's a lot of background things going on with people sort of working on their own fixes, for example, that may come to light on Facebook, social media, and probably on different videos such as this. Fingers crossed we get some more fixes, because right now it's really quite frustrating. Anyway guys, thanks for watching the video. Hope I help a little bit. I think we're really going to have to wait till the next firmware update before a lot of the issues are sorted. Anyway, fingers crossed. Thanks for watching. Catch you again next one. Bye for now.